It was a simple game, Cotton. You should have told me where Sydney was. Now, you lose.
All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 38 of the Take One podcast. As always, I am your host, Michael Bish, and we continue our road to Scream 6 today with Scream 3, and I'm super excited to talk about this because I feel like this is a movie that is not liked, and I need to know why. But I have a feeling my two guests today are going to be on my side. So let's go ahead and introduce the guest today, returning guest, my man, Kevin Ketchie. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. I'm very excited to talk about one of my favorite films in the franchise. And so looking forward to taking a deep dive and explaining why I love it so much.
Hell yeah, dude. And brand new guest to the show, Jess, a.k.a. House of Horrors. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm upset. I'm upset that I did not get included into the T-shirt gang. Like, I should have known, man. I should have known.
Contrary to what people are thinking, we did not plan this, and so it would have been funny if we would have hopped on and all three of us were wearing the same shirt. I only have two Scream shirts. The other one I can't find, so I had to wear this one. No one's gonna believe that.
No, I don't believe it at all. Nice little setup you got there. Is that a mini poster or what is that?
Me?
Yeah,
right here. This is just a VHS.
Oh, it just looks fucking big. Oh, it's literally right there. That's why.
Yeah.
I thought it was farther back at first. Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
Jess, looks like you got a hell of a setup there. I love that. I love the stab poster. I don't see that a lot. Mm-hmm. Are you a big Texas Chainsaw person?
A little bit, yeah.
Does Kevin shit on that movie?
I don't know. I haven't shed on that one. I just don't love that one. I like the 03 one more.
No, yeah, same here.
But I respect that one.
Me too. It's been a long time since I've seen it though. I need to watch it. So I'm super excited to dive into Scream 3 today. I want to kind of just get to know you, Jess, a little bit. I haven't talked to you about like how you got into horror movies or anything like that ever. So I'm super excited to kind of learn that, and all the listeners are too, I'm sure. So how long have you been a horror fan, and kind of when did that start for you?
I would say that I got into it more in like 2018. That's when I started collecting more. But I've always been into horror movies. I think like at first it like traumatizes you at first, and you're like, just because you're little and it scares you, but like later you grow into loving it. So that's what happened to me. But 2018 was the year that I set my heart on horror.
What was the movie that did it for you? Like what's your favorite movie? Because those can kind of be two different questions. Because the movie that did it for me was Stephen King's It, but my favorite is Halloween. So what, I guess kind of both, if they are the same, what are they?
Yeah, so the movie that did it for me was Nightmare on Elm Street, just because my uncle, he is very into horror movies. He goes to all of these conventions all the time. And so I remember very vividly, he had the Nightmare on Elm Street DVD set. And so the set connects just like the VHS tapes were. It just connects to one photo, and with the DVD set, it was just his eyes, and it was very like demonic looking, and that's what scared me. I heard Leo. I'm so sorry. It was my cat.
No, I love that.
But yeah, my favorite one is Scream. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Love that. I was going to say something. Oh, did you happen to pick me up a Scream bucket last night?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not. I already had to drive an hour away from where I am.
did you not think about like, damn, I saw Mike's story. He wants one. I should drive back. Like, you just like, no,
Man,
fuck that.
It was already too late.
Been nice. Wow.
It would have been nice. I'm sorry about that, man.
No, it's okay. Shit happens. Shit happens. I mean, it is what it is. So I kind of know where y'all are gonna go with Scream 3 as far as score wise. I saw Kevin. I think you scored Scream 3 on Letterboxd a month or so ago, 2 months ago. And Jess, I saw you watched it last night and you did give it a score. So we are all pretty high on this movie. I think our scores are exactly the same too.
Yeah.
But what have y'all been kind of watching recently? New watches. And Kevin, save the Outwaters. Is that's what it's called, right? Outwaters.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you talk about that separately here in a second, if you don't mind. Because I know that's coming to Screenbox tomorrow, so I'm gonna end up watching it. But I want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
But what have y'all been watching recently? Whether it's rewatches or new movies.
Go ahead, Jess.
Well, it's no surprise that me and Kevin are always watching movies together. So
What?
so
Get the fuck out of here! Seriously, that's crazy.
Oh yeah,
She threatened. She threatened me and my family if I didn't watch movies with her weekly. So that's how it started. So if you're listening to this, it was nice knowing you. But no, we do. Yeah. We actually kind of hit it off talking about Scream 3 like a year or so ago. Specifically like Parker Posey and how funny she is. I think maybe we both were watching it one night, or I was watching it, and we just started chatting that night. And so Scream 3 was kind of our introduction to getting to know each other, and we've just been good friends ever since.
Hell yeah. I gotta know, do y'all like FaceTime and watch the movie together, or do you just text? If that's too much info, you don't have to answer. I'm just curious.
We FaceTime, but I hate FaceTime. I turn my camera off and I just talk. So that's how we roll. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
So this is like our first like face-to-face like conversation.
Yeah, like we're like staring at each other.
Yeah, I doubt that. So sorry, Jess, didn't mean to cut you off. What have you been watching recently?
Okay, so yesterday Kevin showed me High Tension. There's that one. My brain just went completely blank. I can't think of any other movies besides that one.
My Bloody Valentine. Watch those.
Oh yeah, we watched those. Valentine. We watched Lover's Lane. Lover's Lane was all right in my opinion. Just a lot of Valentine's Day movies.
What so which Bloody Valentine did y'all watch? Y'all watch all of them?
Yeah, we watched both, the remake and the original. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I think the original is always the go-to, but the remake is just more entertaining to watch.
Kev?
Yeah, I saw the remake before I saw the original. I saw the remake in theaters and enjoyed it. Haven't watched either a whole lot, but I prefer the OG. I watched it last year for the first time and thought it was good, but I think I don't know, it resonated more with me this rewatch, and so I really, really preferred that one. I enjoyed it. However, I think the remake is a lot of fun. There's a lot of love put into it, and there's a lot of good visuals. And Jensen Ackles, we were talking about this when we were watching it. The whole time he's like smoldering, and his eyebrows are wanting him to be like, "I'm Batman" the whole time. And so it's a fun watch, but I prefer the OG.
That's hilarious. I haven't watched either of them movies in a very long time. I remember the OG more than I do the original, so I'd probably have to favor the remake. I mean, I'd probably favor that a little more. But I have to go back and watch the original. It's a very low score on Letterboxd too.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like a 2.5, I think.
The remake?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Anything else, Jess, that you've been watching you want to talk about?
I mean, usually everything that I watch, I post on my story. So
True.
It's out there, but I just can't remember.
Kev, what about you, man? What have you been watching recently?
I mean, I watched Jeepers Creepers Reborn, man. I watched that one. Oh, I just put in my Letterboxd review. I just put no. I love Jeepers Creepers. Man. I even like 2. The third one's terrible. And I knew this one was going to be even worse, but I had to watch it just because I love the Creeper. I think he's a really cool character. So I watched that, and just like My Bloody Valentine stuff, and then obviously The Outwaters, which was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that movie.
Man, because I know it was just a movie you were really looking forward to, man. I just want to know if it lived up to everything that you were, I guess, really expecting.
Yeah. Well, I've heard about this movie and Skinamarink for a while, and really, really enjoy both of them for different reasons. They're both two totally different types of found footage horror movies. I didn't love The Outwaters. I think there was a lot of hype going into it, comparing it to the Blair Witch Project, which to me is like top tier, one of the best movies ever made. And like, so that bar is set so high, it's almost unattainable to like match that. But I really enjoyed a lot of elements from The Outwaters, specifically the second half. I think the first half is a little slow. It's kind of hard to kind of sink into, and I wish there would have been more character development with some of the characters. And there's a couple of sentimental moments that are nice, but I wish we would have stayed with that a little bit more. So it takes a while to get going, but I think the visuals and it's way more abstract and ambiguous than I ever thought it was going to be. And so there's a lot of like really gnarly, nasty visuals and sound design. And so I applaud it for that. I think the director is super talented. I actually did like a concept art piece this week, and he saw that and really appreciated that. And so we had a nice kind of conversation, and that just makes me love movies even more. And so his name's Robbie Banfitch. If you guys have the time, check out The Outwaters. And I think so it's going to be a very diversive film. But it was fun, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad, man, and I'm glad y'all were able to have that conversation. And I know you said check him out. Yes, everybody check him out. But make sure you fucking check Kevin out and his work that he does, because it's absolutely amazing. So
Thank you, man.
Watch Horror Films. Make sure you go follow him on Instagram. It was a hell of a picture, man. That was some good work. So
Thank you. Appreciate that.
yeah, of course. Any movies y'all are looking forward to coming up? I think for me, Creed is getting ready to come out. Really looking forward to that. And then obviously Scream in a few weeks. Are there any movies coming out, whether it's in theaters or on streaming, that you're really looking forward to?
Go ahead, Jess.
I'm just excited to see how this Scream plays out, because for me, I did not like the fifth one. It just didn't do it for me. There was like a lot of things that I wish they could have done differently. But I think besides that, I just, since I missed Outwaters, I'm sorry. Whoa. Sorry. Oh yeah, but I'm just I want to watch that on Screenbox.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think that's what I'm looking forward to coming up. And then Creed, and then Cocaine Bear I'm gonna go see.
That looks crazy.
Is it gonna be a good movie? Probably not.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be a fun watch? I don't know. Hopefully, it looks like it's got some good elements to it. So I'm gonna go see that, and then I think Scream comes out a week after or 2 weeks after that, and then dude, I was looking. It's really a fucking dry spell after that. Like I don't see anything coming out for months.
Although I saw a new trailer for Evil Dead Rise when I went to see Outwaters.
Of course,
yes.
Dude,
yes.
it looks so good, dude. I can't wait.
It was a new trailer.
Pretty sure. Yeah, there was some shots in there that I hadn't seen yet. I'm like, fuck, that looks good.
Man,
looks so good.
I cannot wait to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking now. I'm not interested in seeing Fast X.
No. Let it die, man. I'm so tired of those movies.
And it's crazy because I love the first two.
Yeah.
And I even love the fifth one. I don't know. It's been so long since I've watched it. Like, I've honestly forgot.
Yeah.
But literally, man, like, I'm looking at, like, the movies that are coming out. After Scream, the next big movie is, like, Fast X, and that's not till May.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's just, like, a super dry spell. So, I don't know, man. I feel like we're starting off the year strong, but I don't know where we're going to end up. as far as like I don't even know what the next big movie is after Scream or what I'm even really looking forward to coming up.
Same.
It's close.
Yeah, once spring gets here, I'm like, I have no idea what movies are gonna be coming out to theaters after Scream and Evil Dead Rise. Those are like my two big ones I'm looking forward to this year. Definitely.
I went and saw Titanic in theaters.
I saw that. How was it in 3D?
Actually, really good. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I'm not a 3D person, and the idea of sitting there in 3D watching a movie for 3 hours, didn't really sound exciting to me. But I was like, I just cannot miss this on the big screen. It wasn't as good as Jaws. Seeing Jaws on the big screen, I definitely thought the 3D took a little bit away from it. But I still enjoyed it, man. It's like a guilty pleasure watch for me. I love that movie. It's just too fucking long. It's a long movie.
It is.
It is such a long movie.
I tell you what, man. Growing up, I think I saw that movie 3 times in theaters. Like I wanted to be Jack Dawson so bad. I was in love with Kate Winslet. I played Celine Dion all the time.
Yeah.
That was my shit back in the day.
Hell yeah, dude. I love that. It's crazy. I remember not gonna bring up any sour moments, but when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, I remember I went up to Philly, and then it was the weekend before the game, and we all went downtown to a bar, and that is the song that I sung karaoke in front of hundreds of people. Super drunk.
Dude, I wish you had a clip of that.
I think I do. If I do, I'll post it on the next stream.
Yeah,
or I'll post I'll post it to the Instagram post.
That's awesome.
It's highly embarrassing. It is highly embarrassing. I might lose some followers and listeners, but it's fine. Like I'm cool with it. Like I want people to realize that I cannot sing, but I had the time of my life. And I'm not
At least you went for it.
Yeah, I'm not a big karaoke guy either. So
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and dive into Scream 3. Actually, before then, I do want to talk about Scream 5, real quick with Jess. I know you said that you didn't like it. What's like one thing that you hated the most about it?
Like the mental health problems. What is she supposed to have? Like the condition?
Oh, you talking about where she sees
hallucinations of her dad?
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like I thought that was like super shitty. Like,
and especially when I saw him all CGI'd, I'm like,
thank you.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Like I literally thought like they just CGI'd somebody else. Honestly, like I honestly thought that's what they did. And then like when I saw him post on his Instagram that like he was really a part of that, I'm like, man, that's a rough edit. Like that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw it in theaters, I was like, oh no, don't! What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing for me, we've talked about it ad nauseum, Kev, but the character development in that movie, or just the characters in general, I just do not connect with.
Yeah.
Which makes me super nervous for this movie, because outside of Gale, there are no characters that I'm coming into connecting with. So I hope they can kind of build these characters up more, because as of right now, like I'm just not connecting with them at all.
That's my biggest issue. I totally agree. My biggest issue going into this is I want to have people that I care about. I want to have characters that I care about, that I resonate with, that I'm rooting for. And I just don't care about it. I mean, I like Gail for the most part. She's no Dewey. She's no Sydney.
Of course not.
I like Kirby, but I think bringing her back, I'm not super happy about that. I still think it's a little too like fan servicey, but we'll see how it plays into the story. But yeah, like, I mean, I think the movie looks really well done, but I thought the same thing when I saw the trailer for Scream 5. And so we'll see. But I'm so glad I don't have Twitter. I'm so glad I didn't get to see who the killer is.
I know. That's super crazy to me that's out there. Do you have Twitter, Jess? Or are you on Reddit? You do?
I have Twitter, but I don't really go on it that much.
Man. I had to mute Scream 6 on Twitter the other day when I found out, because I am not, because they're like, when we have all these content creators creating Scream 6 stuff, and people are just going in the comments and just posting that clip in there.
Sucks, man.
And it's just like, man, like you can't stop it. I mean, because you don't know who to block, you don't know who's doing it. And I'm deaf. What's your cat's name again?
Well, this is another one. This is Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Kiwi and Leo. Yeah.
I'm putting their meows in the intro of this podcast because I love it. I love it so much.
I'm waiting for one of them to jump up on top of the counter next to you.
Yeah.
Me too. Did you happen to go back and get me a screen bucket at all? By the way,
No.
I know I already asked that, but
Man.
I had to ask again. Kev, what about you?
So sorry.
Are you near it's only at Cinemark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fucking have one of those near me. Do you?
No. Well, I do. I have two, but I called and they were like, yeah, we keep getting a lot of calls about this. We don't have any. So,
man,
someone might have hooked me up with one.
Yeah, I wonder who.
I'm not gonna say any names.
I mean, I don't fucking know. Can't take any guesses. But damn. Anyways, I guess let's jump into this fucking movie.
Can't wait to get it.
Man. Yeah. I mean, if you get it, let me know the day so I can mute your Instagram story that day.
It's looking like it's gonna be Saturday.
Sounds like it must have already shipped. Honestly, there was no waiting on that. I can tell you that. Probably waiting the minute FedEx or UPS opened to ship that shit. Like, but hey, no judgment, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Scream 3. Super excited to talk about this. Kev, I'm going to jump to you first. Your overall kind of feeling on the film. If you remember the first time you saw it, and anything you want to talk about.
All right, so I love this movie. I love it so much, and I do think it gets the most hate out of all the Scream movies. I think it's a lot of people's dead last in the rankings. If you've listened to the previous podcast I was on, you know where it ranks on my ranking. It's number 2. And I mean, it has a lot of nostalgia for me. I saw it when I don't know how old I was, but I saw it when it came out in theaters, and I saw it with my dad. The first Scream movie I saw in theaters. So just have a lot of memories with that. I remember the scene is kind of halfway through when Sydney's inside the house, the replica house, on the sound stage, and she's kind of reminiscing, and she hears the voices of Stu and Billy. And at that moment, I turned to my dad. I'm kind of like the meme of that guy that's talking to his girlfriend about football or whatever. I was like, Dad, that's Billy and Stu from the first movie. And so he didn't care. He didn't understand any of it. But he took me to that movie. And so I have like those memories for that. And I loved it. And I know it's got flaws. I think in my Letterboxd review, I was like, look, is it equivalent to Dewey's strawberry ice cream cone and Scream the OG? Man. And it is, because it is more playful and it's tonally different and goofier, and it's got more of a Scooby-Doo element to it. But I also think it's really well written. I think the cast is stacked. I think it's hilarious. I do think it teeters more towards comedy than horror, and I definitely prefer the horror element, like the first one. But I don't know. I think it's way more rewatchable than Scream 2 for me. And I just love how fun it is. I think Parker Posey is hilarious and commands the screen every time she's on it. I love her in this. I love Dewey in this. I'll get more into my likes, but for me, it's just so rewatchable, and I love it.
Hell yeah, man. I think you definitely made some good points, and I loved your Letterboxd review on this.
Thanks, man.
That shit was perfect. Yeah. What about you, Jess? What did you like about this movie? Do you remember the first time you watched it? And again, anything that you kind of want to talk about?
So I definitely don't remember the first time I watched this, because I don't even think I was born when it came out. But I do have to say that my favorite part of Scream 3 is Parker Posey. And I really enjoy her character, Jennifer, and just her and Gail, for me, are the best duo in this movie. They click, they go together so well, and it does have a lot more comedy in it than any of the other ones, which I love. Like, I'm not opposed to it. What else do I have?
She's got a whole list of notes. She was taking notes like for the last 3 days.
No, I love that. When anytime Marie's on, she has a book, and I love it.
So yeah. Oh, and I especially love. It's always. I think the highlight of Scream 3 is Dewey and Jennifer for sure.
Mhm.
They just. I don't know. They just. It's their movie basically. Dewey's
Mhm.
goofiness. What I said in my letterbox review is like to the max. It's
Yeah.
like it's perfect though. It's like it's not even like forced goofiness. It's just like small little things that just make you laugh.
Mhm.
But I also like what is it? The switch up in the voice box.
Mhm.
Oh
That
yeah.
was that was a good thing that they did. And a little bonus is the Jay and Silent Bob cameo.
Yeah.
No,
I like
that's
that. It's
no,
funny.
no, absolutely, and I think I agree with both y'all. I feel like there's a lot of comedy in this movie, but I kind of lean a little bit more towards Jess. I don't mind it too much, but then again, Kevin, I agree with you. Like I wish, like I prefer horror more than anything. It's just I don't mind the comedy that's in this movie because I feel like it really works.
Mhm.
And again, I think Parker Posey, to take the words out of your mouth, commands the screen anytime that she is on it.
Mhm.
And really, I love the dynamic between her and Gail, really, and how that
Mhm.
how kind of like she like admires her just a little bit, even though she's kind of being a bitch to her, and they're being a bitch to each other.
It's great.
Like when the house explodes and they're down by the car, and like she touches Gail, and Gail's like, "Get the fuck off me," and she touches her again. I'm like, oh man, she just wants to be friends with Gail Weathers. She wants to be
Yeah.
friends with the real Gail Weathers. I don't know. Like I love that. I love those two together so much. Um, I I love Sydney in this movie. Something about Scream 2 and Scream 3. Like Sydney is just like so badass to me, man. I'm not like the biggest fan of like that short haircut. Like it's just
Mhm.
something I'm not hugely attractive to, but like I just feel like she rocks that shit so much.
Oh yeah.
And then like we'll talk about it later towards the end, but she takes her. I feel like one of the things that I like about her character developments is she gets more badass by the movie, and
Yeah.
this final scene is phenomenal,
It
and
is, man.
it's I can't wait to talk about it. But as far as me, I don't remember the first time I saw this movie either. But I will say I don't understand why this movie gets hate. Um, I love the first three so much.
Mhm.
Obviously, for my ranking, everybody knows that it's third on my list. Um, and did I put in the notes to do for you to do a ranking, Jess?
Oh yeah, so it's
Okay.
number 3 for me too.
Okay, cool. So, I'll definitely let you dive like deeper into your list. I just couldn't remember if I put that on the list, so I'm glad I did. Interested, definitely hype to hear your list. But yeah, man, I think I just don't understand why 3 gets the hate that it does because I think it's amazing.
Mhm.
Oh, and I love like I talked about it on last week's episode. Like I really like Cotton, man. It's like
Yeah.
he comes off as an asshole, but then again, he doesn't come off as an asshole. Like he comes off
Yeah.
really, really goofy. Like especially more in the second one. Like I don't
Yeah.
know
Oh
if you
yeah.
listened to the episode last week, but like towards the end, like he's like he has a gun in his hand. He's like being so evil, and then like once he shoots Billy's mom, he's like turns into like a little bitch. He's like, "Oh, I wasn't gonna shoot. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna shoot you, Sid."
No,
He's
no,
like,
Sydney.
yeah,
No.
No.
yeah.
He does have a lot of layers to him. Like he's got that like snakiness to him, but he's also got like that relatability to where you're like, I mean, I can understand why he's like um just starving to get out of this situation he's been in to be
Yeah.
free of it. But then he's also just like again, like goofy, and kind of likable, but then it goes back to him being kind of slimy and
I know, man.
so
I know.
he's got a lot of layers and levels to him. I do like Cotton. He's funny.
Yeah, and they go and kill him off in the very beginning. How
Yeah.
did y'all like the opening scene? I thought that they hit home runs in for all three of these movies as far as
Mhm.
opening scenes. As crazy as it sounds, I rank them obviously 1, 2, and 3 for opening scenes. I just keep it in that order. But I do think the opening scene to this one was really good. Like I know you're playing the movie behind you. So are you, Jess, right?
Yeah.
So hold on, are they literally the Okay, at first I thought they were the
They're
same.
close.
Are they
Almost,
close?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, that's really tripping me out now. But when Ghostface went in and killed Cotton, like I just love that entire shot when the camera's like looking up at Ghostface and the voice changer is like you should have told me where Cotton was. Like I just love that, dude. Like
It is
that
cool.
shit is
You
awesome.
got like the blood splatter on Ghostface's mask.
Yes,
It's cool.
yes,
I
yes.
love the opening. I do think it goes in order for me. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I put 3 above 2.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just love the 2000s vibe that it has. I love
Yeah.
the actress that plays Christine. I think she's really believable. Like when she screams and she's scared and she's running, I believe that she is running for her life. I love the stabbing through the door, how that's kind of like the Shining-esque. I think that's badass. I love the Creed song. I love the What If. I love the opening to that. I even love Cotton when he's like stuck in traffic in Hollywood. I love that it opens in Hollywood. Like I love the
Yeah,
movie and like
me
the
too.
Hollywood aspect to Scream 3 and how it feels like so movie within a movie, but not super contrived and annoying like the rest of the stab storylines are in the rest of the sequels. I love that about this movie. So I love that it opens in Hollywood. I love how kind of weird he is on the phone when he's talking to who he thinks is a fan. He's like, "So, you a 100% Cotton fan?" It's like, yeah, I just love that dialogue.
Yeah.
And
That's
I love how he dies too. I think it's pretty brutal.
that's Cotton going back to being slimy, man. You
Yeah,
know what I
man.
mean?
Yep.
He definitely has those layers, like you said. Jess, I want to ask you, did you have any idea who the killer was in this movie until the end?
I mean, it's yesterday wasn't my first time watching it, but no, I've like when I think I don't remember the first time watching it, but
Yeah.
I for sure do not remember Roman being the killer.
Agree, Kev?
Yeah. No, never thought it was Roman.
Yeah.
No way.
I mean, I would say hell no to that, honestly. I mean, because one, I wasn't suspecting him, period. And then two, we get that whole scene of him in the casket and he's
Dude,
dead,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Well, she checked his pulse too, and he was
I
like,
want to say, can we talk about that?
yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into dislikes first,
Okay.
because that's just the way it's flowing, and that's one of my dislikes, man. I know you got to suspend your belief a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's a little too much. Now, if she opened it and saw he was dead and did not check his pulse, like maybe he's just good at what he does, but man, like what did you
It's a
check?
plot hole.
Yeah, like what did you check, Gail? Like. Did you check his arm? Like, what'd you check? Like, I don't know.
Unless
So
it was a dead arm, like he put next to him. But she definitely feels his pulse, and Parker Posey is like, "Is he dead?" She's like, "Very." And you're like,
Yeah.
"All right, well, Roman's gone. He's done for."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a reoccurring flaw I have with it. When I rewatch, I'm like, "Oh, she checked his pulse." Yeah.
I would say at that point, I think my suspicion like again, I don't remember the first time watching it, but I would say based off everything that I kind of felt every time I watched that movie, my guess would have been on the detective.
Yeah.
Because he had left the police station. Where did he go? Things were just lining up for it to be that way. And of course, like, why wouldn't it's a Hollywood? It's the movie takes place in Hollywood. Why can't Patrick Dempsey be Ghostface? You know what I mean? So I'm glad it didn't go that way. But for a while, I felt like that was kind of the case. So for me, I had no idea.
He does have something like ooey gooey about him, where you're like, man, I feel like you're gonna show up being the killer for sure.
Yeah.
But as far as my dislikes go, I got a few. As much as I love this movie, there's just some things that just stand out so much. One of them, every time Ghostface shows up and he pulls the knife up, there is a knife. It's the same knife sound effect. It goes swing every single time he pops up. Swing every single time there's a knife sound effect.
That's a good call out. Now every time I watch that movie, that's all I'm going to be able to hear, right?
There's literally like 100 swings in this movie. It's crazy. Swing, like Wayne's World, swing. Speaking of Roman, I don't like that he is like the catalyst to Billy and Stu going off on their rampage. I don't buy that. I think Billy would have there's no way Billy would have been like, yeah, you're right. Thanks for showing me this. I'm gonna listen to you. There's no way. And so I don't like that. Roman's kind of like the quote unquote director of everything that happens. Don't like that. Don't like the retconning. I think Angelina's awkward as fuck. I don't get her character. I think she was originally supposed to be a killer along with Roman, but they changed that in the script. But every time she's on screen, she's so awkward. She's so weird.
Because I feel like there were times, like they do in every Scream movie, or they're kind of pointing to she could possibly be one of the killers. Yeah. And I'm just like, if that was the case, I would have just been like, ain't no way in hell, dog. Ain't no way. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like that would be one of them. I'm just like, like I don't know if I'm buying that one. But yeah, I agree. She's very corny in this movie.
She just has so many weird moments. Like after the house blows up and she stumbles.
Like, are we safe?
She stands real weird. She's like,
yeah, I know.
It's so weird. And then she's like hiding in the toilet. It's just weird.
I just wanted some souvenirs.
That's so weird. But my biggest dislike, sorry, Grey's Anatomy fans, it is Detective Kincaid. I hate this guy. I hate him. I hate him so bad.
Me too.
Look, he's so like he bucks up to Dewey. He tries to have like a dick measuring contest with Dewey, and he's like, "Hey, I'm the cop here. You're in my office, Dewey." Then he threatens Dewey, and then he just gets so like he's like the mascot from Mucinex. He's the worst. He gets he gets in Sydney's face when she's just trying to like be vulnerable, and she's like,
I know.
What's your favorite scary movie? And he just gets like right in her face and goes, My life. It's awful. It's
cringeworthy.
And he gets his ass kicked by Ghostface, and then she ends up with him in Scream 5. I don't like it.
Hell no, me neither. I was pissed about that. He doesn't deserve her. That's a woman of honor. That's a badass. No. Fuck him. Fuck Kincaid.
Yeah, fuck that douchebag. Yeah. At the end, he's got popcorn. He's like, hey, we're going to watch a movie. Come on.
Yeah.
He frolics into the living room.
I'm like, dude, you're lucky I'm not there. I'd trip you and break your other arm. Fucking loser. No, I agree with you on that one.
What a wiener. Such a wiener.
Gosh.
Fucking go to Weenie Hut Jr.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Such a bum.
Good Lord, that was aggressive.
So, yeah, I don't like Kincaid. I don't like him.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say I don't either. I'm trying to think of what I like now. Now I'm just stuck on that. Jess, I'll go to you. What are some of your dislikes?
Okay, so Angelina was number one for me. She's so awkward, and it like makes me feel uneasy and uncomfortable. It's just like, and I don't know if she's like, obviously that's her character, but it's just like, to me, it just feels like she doesn't know how to act.
She's so weird.
I'm with you, and it's just like, again, I know, Kev, you were like, they were gonna make her be one of the killers, but it still makes me wonder, like, what were they doing with that character? Like, it just, I don't know, man. I don't even care whether she's supposed to be weird or not. Like,
thank God she wasn't the killer, dude. Could you imagine if she was acting like that? Oh.
Honestly, if she was the lone killer in this movie, she might have been my worst killer, and that includes 5, and that's tough. And that's tough.
Yeah, glad that didn't happen.
Oh yeah, another dislike of mine is Gail's bangs.
We do got to talk about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. That's a okay, so I remember it's like 3 years ago. I'd brought a girlfriend over to watch Scream 3. She had never seen it. I swear to God, like, one of the first things she says is, "What's wrong with her bangs?"
Yeah.
I said, like, what do you mean? I'm like, look at them. And like, I was like, that was like literally the first time I like hardly focused on them. Like, I noticed them before, but like, I was like, maybe I'm just noticing them. One, because they are bad, but two, maybe because I've seen this movie a million times. But like on her first watch, that was one of the first things she pointed out or even said about the movie. And I'm like, yeah, that's just the thing. And then like, the more I got into like Twitter and social media, it's just like it'll be a random Thursday in like May, and somebody will post about her bangs in Scream 3. And
the scariest part of Scream 3 was Gail's bangs. I see it all the time.
Nope.
I mean, they're not wrong. It doesn't look like she went and played with a bunch of like firecrackers, but
no, because I understand. Like, what year did it come out? I can't remember.
2003.
No, okay, then I was born. Sorry. I forgot. But
Oh my
it was
god, how old are you?
No, I think it's 2000.
Is it 2000?
I don't know. Hang on.
We gotta hold on. Let's do
I
this.
am old, bro.
Hold on.
God, where is it?
2000. Okay, I wasn't born. I was born in 2001. All right. So, from what I remember, hopefully I'm getting this right, it was a trend back then. But even if it was a trend, at least make it look good on her. Don't just put it
Yeah.
on her because it was a trend. It's
I know-
just like it did not look good.
And I know she's talked about it before too.
Yeah, she jokes about it. And there's an interview with
Yeah.
her and Nev where Nev's like, "It looks good," and they start laughing. It is really funny.
No.
Yeah.
Also with the outfits too. Her outfits just were not hitting like 2 and
Yeah.
1.
They were rough. They
Yeah,
were rough. Any other dislikes for you? Because those are good. Those are like really good dislikes.
Those are all mine.
I wouldn't call this a dislike, but there's a couple of moments whenever the cast almost gets out of character and they start laughing. Like whenever I think his name's Sloan gets stabbed in the back and he falls to the doorstep and they're like, "Oh God, Sloan!" And then Dewey goes outside to check his pulse and Courtney Cox is like, "Dewey, is he dead?" And she almost starts laughing. There's a couple moments where they get a little too slack and goofy, but I don't hate it. That's just something I noticed. Yeah.
Here comes this awkward scene with. Oh man, I'm just watching the screen behind you. I'm like, oh man, that's tough.
I love
That's
this
tough.
moment where she winds up for the punch.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, yes. That shit is so funny. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yes, that's my favorite part.
Man, this might be. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not the biggest fan of the kills in this movie.
They're not very memorable.
No, they're not.
So like, because when I was trying to come up with my list, I was like, man, which ones really, really stand out to me?
Mm-hmm.
And I just really couldn't really think of any, honestly. I mean, I did pick a couple that I liked, but I think even with the movie and some of the movies that I didn't like for 5, I thought there were better kills in 5. But I don't know, man. I think the lack of creativity when it came to the kills in this movie, I just did not like. So yeah, that Kincaid will probably be my 2 biggest ones, and then I guess Angelina.
Yeah.
All right. So so we started off with dislikes. What are some likes? I'll kind of start this off. One of the things that I really like is when Sydney is, and you talked about this a little bit when you were talking about when you first watched this movie, Kevin. When Sydney kind of went to the set of Stab, which didn't make sense in its own, because what movie were they on? They were doing Stab 3, right?
Yeah.
Stab 3 is back in production.
Yeah, they're doing Stab 3, but yet they had Stu's house. Didn't make sense to me, but
Right.
I guess that's another plot hole in itself, but I guess that's highly overthinking it. Oh, what a punch. What a punch.
Who gave you a place to stay?
My lawyer liked that.
It's a great moment.
It is.
It is.
But yeah, I love the moment when Sydney goes to the set and she does start to hear all the voices. I thought I just think that whole scene creates a lot of tension. I think one of the most tension-filled scenes outside of the end to me. So that's a really positive highlight in this movie for me. And then just the ending. I'm a big fan of the ending. Do I like the whole, I guess, decision to be the reason why Billy and Stu did what they did? No, not a fan of that at all. I agree with you. I don't know. That whole ending scene when they're fighting in that locked room, whatever you want to call it, I just thought was done really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many times I thought Sydney was just gonna, die.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't, obviously. And I like I don't know. I'm not gonna say I hate the whole brother aspect to it. I just didn't like the way it was executed with the whole Billy thing. I think that's my biggest problem with that. But because I feel like you didn't have to do that, but I don't know. But those are some of my likes that kind of really stick out to me. And then I think Dewey, man, I think Dewey is just top notch in this movie. Like I really do, man. Like he shines so much in this movie, and he does in every movie. But I just think this is one of his better performances, and rightfully, and, he's just awesome. And I love some of the shots in this movie. One that really sticks out to me is when, man, I am terrible with names. The blonde girl who gets killed in the studio, Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candy. Yeah. Yeah.
When she is like sitting there on the phone and you see all the Ghostface costumes and Ghostface kind of pokes his head out. Yeah. I love that shot. It's such a cool scene. I would say those are three that really stick out to me.
Mm-hmm. I do like that. I like the use of all, like I said, just the movie element, movie inside of a movie. I love the props. Yeah. I love the sound stage, like the sets. That's just fun. But like going back to Dewey, this is Dewey's movie. He leads this movie along with Gale, but like this is top-notch Dewey. I love that he's more confident in this movie. Like I love when he's having that conversation with Sloan, the bodyguard, and Sloan's like trying to like buck up to him, and he's like, "You need to take orders from me, dude." Dropping Dewey's just like, "Yeah, whatever you say." And he just walks away. I'm like, that's Dewey. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah.
And then he goes like toe to toe with Kincaid in his office, where he's like telling Kincaid, like, "No, this is not what is happening. What about this? Are you checking this?" And Kincaid gets all upset.
Is that a threat?
Is that a threat? And so I love that he leads the majority of the movie. What else do I have here? He saves Gale. He saves Gale by shooting Ghostface. He's Jennifer's bodyguard. He kills Roman, and he also electrocutes himself by turning the power off inside the mansion with like tweezers. He's
so
great.
Funny.
Dude, he's great. Stand back, Gale. Whoa! He's great. He's the best in this, man.
Typical Dewey, but Dewey, we love you, man. We love you, man. Justice for Dewey, please.
Especially the knife butt.
Yeah.
Up the stairs. That was
that
was funny.
Yeah.
Of course he gets hit with that side of the knife. Like I already knew that was coming, and that like it was just enough to knock him out.
He said, "Oh,
down the steps."
It's really funny.
He doesn't fall backwards. He has to fall forward.
Yeah.
Man.
But then I kind of like the mom element in this. I like the visuals we see, like that nightmare where she's coming to Sydney's house. I think that's actually kind of scary. She looks like Linda Blair, and she's walking through the fog, and she looks at the camera. I think that's pretty scary. Yeah. See that part, that like kind of ghostly aspect of Scream, I don't hate. Like if you're having nightmares of it, but if you're having hallucinations of your dad that you didn't even know who he was, you never seen him before, he's in the same outfit that he died in. That's just
that's too much.
Way too much.
That's too much.
But I also like the commentary on Hollywood in this movie, and it's actually kind of dark whenever Roman's talking about how Rena Reynolds, Maureen Prescott, was assaulted and raped and taken advantage of inside that mansion, and that was kind of like the catalyst to her love affairs and what happened. I thought that was pretty dark. So I think that was an interesting thing they added to it.
No, I agree. And one of the things I left out, and I know we touched on it in the beginning, but I love a lot of the comedy aspects in this movie too. Yeah. Some of the lines were really good, like when they were, like when Sydney was on set, and then afterwards they were grilling like the other cast members and staff, and they were questioning Angelina about the mask. She was like, "You took the mask, or you stole the mask?"
Stole it, yeah.
And then he looks over at Tyson. He's like, "Don't look at me. I ain't take shit."
Yeah.
Like some of the lines are really good in this movie. But what about you, Jess? What are some things that you really enjoyed about it?
Okay, so the top is got to be Parker Posey. Just her alone, her character, she really lights up the room when she's on screen. Same with Courtney Cox, but I think them together, they go well together.
What are you, a reporter for Woodsboro High?
$50. Dewey's goofiness, yes, that's just the main thing of this. And I'm gonna get hate for this, but I actually like Detective Kincaid. Yeah.
Boo. Boo. No.
It's just something about him, and I know that
I get what
Whatever. All right.
You guys are the same with Sydney. I can be the same with him. It's all about the attractiveness. But I do get what you guys are saying about him being all slimy and like his behavior. Like I do see that, but there's just moments that like I like. I see the chemistry with them. I know that you guys I do. I sense it. I sense it. But I don't know if that's me being a girl or not. But yeah.
Oh, I didn't sense shit. But hey, credit to you. I'm glad that worked for you.
Yeah, cool story, Jess.
Thanks. Gosh.
Anything else that you enjoy that you kind of want to talk about?
Did we already discuss the moments?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Okay. Well, I think those are just my top 3.
I do want to say that whenever you talked about Parker Posey and Gail being so good, I could see them being like, I don't know if you guys have watched the show Dead to Me with Christina Applegate.
Oh yeah.
I could see them being in a show like that because their chemistry is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Man, and I've always been a fan of Gail. I know she's always been like the third wheel or in these movies, but I don't know, man. Something about like Scream 5, her dialogue just fucking sucked in that movie. Like I hated everything about Gail in that movie, and I
don't remember any of it. Honestly,
yeah, me either.
I can't blame it on her though because she has put out 4 movies. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of 4, I thought she was phenomenal in Scream 4. So she's put out like 4 straight movies with great work. So I'm not gonna I just don't think that she just rolled out of bed and was trash. So I don't know the dialogue. I know we're talking about Scream 5 again, but I was so, oh man,
it hurts. That one hurts. It's hard not to like just start ripping that movie apart when we talk about it. It's hard.
I know, because man, it makes me like 4 more. I've realized that, and I know we've talked about this before, Kevin, like how much we hated Halloween Ends, and you know I'm not the biggest fan of Rob Zombie's movies, but I've like really watched like his at least first installment, and I've grown to really like that movie. And I don't know if it's because I hate Ends so much, so I go back and I appreciate what we've gotten before. But I kind of feel that same way with Scream 5 and Scream 4. Like the more I watch Scream 4, there are more elements of it that I'm starting to enjoy, and I don't know if that's because Scream 5 I just really disliked. And I'm really seeing some of Scream 4 of the elements that they pulled from the originals that maybe I didn't notice before.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not a huge Scream 4 guy. Don't hate it, but I'd really just don't ever have a desire to watch it. But I really have grown to appreciate that one more. Obviously Wes Craven directed it. He's got his stamp on it. Even though it's a lot more different than the first 3, just feels so much more cinematic and warmer. But after Scream 5, you grow to appreciate some things you overlooked or things that didn't sit well with you when you first watched it a couple times. And so, yeah, I definitely feel what you're saying.
So, Jess, you kind of talked about the moments. Did we talk about them? So I'm actually going to kick it over to you to talk about some moments that you really enjoyed.
Okay. So I'm going to rank them. Let's see.
I love that. Let's go.
So I'll go from 3 to 1. So my third favorite moment is gotta be the Scary Movie 101, Randy's tape. It was nice that they brought him back in there, and since he was the one to know everything about the movies and how they were structured and how he just knew what was going to happen, it was kind of like, I understand why they killed him. He was too smart for them, but yeah, for that, it was nice for him to bring that knowledge to them even after he knew that he might die.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. And then my second one, it's got to be the house explosion. I always like that. It's just Tom dying. I find it so funny when you see like his like body parts just like expand from the explosion.
my man could read every other sentence in the dark, but when he got to the last final words, he just had to use that lighter because he couldn't see all of a sudden.
Yep.
But hey, that's a good one.
He couldn't have turned the paper towards the window or anything.
That's smart people thinking. He was probably too coked up.
Oh, probably. But yeah, that whole scene and just Jennifer coming down the hill after the explosion, after they find each other, that whole moment, that's just my favorite part. Just the whole winding up the punch to Dewey.
It's a great wind up.
It-
It's all
it
like
is.
it's all herky jerky.
It's like she's like, and like she pauses for a second.
Ah!
And then my number one has got to be the Roman and Sydney fight, the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
His whole kill scene. Yeah.
That's a hell of a list. I love that. Kevin, what about you, man?
Yeah, so number 3, it's I think we're all probably gonna have like the same ones, but number 3 is whoever smells the gas. That scene's so fun. I love they're all in there and they're on edge. The movie's been canceled. There's murders happening, people being killed that they know, and the dialogue's really funny. And then the lights go out, they all scream, and it's like really funny, intense. I love the fax machine, and I love Dewey's like, everyone outside. He's kind of leading the group on what to do. But my favorite part, I love this moment when they're out by the pool, and they're like, the killer gives mercy to who? And then Tom's like, I'm going back in, and he like runs real weird.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going back in. He runs it. That makes me laugh every single time. And so that's number 3. I just think it's a memorable scene. I love the explosion, and then it obviously leads into like the herky jerky Parker Posey punch. That's so funny. So that's number 3. Number 2 is Randy, my boy Randy. I love that they brought him back for this. It's so funny, but it's also very sad, and
very sad.
It's such a beloved character, man, and you can feel his absence. You can feel how much love and how much charm and charisma he brought to these movies, and so like it is like bittersweet to see him pop up on screen. Told you I was gonna make a movie someday, huh?
Yeah,
it's very. Go ahead.
Man. No, I'm just sitting here reminiscing on him, like getting killed in 2. Like I hate it, man. And I'm just thinking about that entire phone call. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I was talking. I love what y'all said on the last episode. I was talking to Discount Farmer Girl Jess about this. Like, I love how bold he is before he dies. How he just like speaks from his chest, and he's like, you want to be one of the big boys, and then they just kill him off, and it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Again, I said it in that podcast. It's like goes back to the whole Dewey and Scream 5. What is he dying for? Yeah. What is Randy dying for? Yeah. Again, it'd be a death that would suck, that I would hate to see, but if it happened, okay, make it meaningful.
Exactly, yeah. And it just felt more like trying to add some weight, some shock value to killing a beloved character. But Wes even came out and said, that was a little premature. I wish we would have kept him around because the fan base loved him so much. And so seeing him pop back up in 3, like helping his friends even in death, was really, really just in line with his character. And
he's still the highlight at conventions.
He's great.
Any conventions, like he is the person people want to hear from, man. Man. Honestly, everybody from that first film, they do so well with the crowd. I remember the panel that I was able to see with all of them. Like, even Roger Jackson was good with the crowd. Like that whole
he's great.
That whole first cast is something special, man. But he was Jamie Kennedy was the highlight for sure.
Yeah, I love when actors just embrace their fame and the love from the fans, and Jamie definitely is that type of guy.
And then their chemistry that they still have after all these years, like you could see it on stage. They're just joking around, and they were like, "Yeah, this movie was awesome," and it was our big day. We didn't get paid a lot after that, everybody except for Nev, and like everybody just like laughed out loud, and Nev was like, "What? I didn't get paid shit." Like their chemistry was just still there after all those years, man. It's just probably one of the best casted movies I've ever seen.
They're so great, man. But yeah, I just love seeing him pop up on the TV, and he's like, 15 minutes, Paul. Damn, I'm leaving my legacy. And so it's really funny. You can see like Sydney and Dewey and Gail, they're like, they miss him so much. And so I can feel that, and so it's really funny and it's endearing, and then also like it ends on a really somber note where he's like, "Good luck, Godspeed, and for some of you, I'll see you soon."
Oh
Because I
man,
know some of you
that
ain't
breaks
gonna
my
make
heart.
it. I didn't, and I'm just
Mhm.
like,
Oh.
oh,
Yeah, and dude, when Wes Craven was talking about something that they like it was too premature, I was really looking forward to see the chemistry and relationship he was going to build with Dewey. Like I was looking forward to that, you
yeah.
know? Like when they go down and they have that conversation in the like I don't know, the student lounge or whatever it is, and they're talking
Oh,
about
you're right.
who the
Yeah.
killer
Yes.
could be. Like that was so done so well, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'm just like if they could have built off that, like, so
Oh, they
yeah,
would have been a good duo too. Yeah, I forgot about
yeah.
that scene where he's like, "Candy, okay, Candy Cane, Candy, yeah, let's move on." Um, no, wait, that's Scream 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Where they
Yeah.
watched the stab trailer
The
on the
stat
TV.
yeah, and
Yeah, having
then
Baskin Robbins.
and
He
they're
was
and
like,
they
"Oh, I'll wait till video."
yep, and they go about the killers, and he's like, so you're saying it's Sydney's boyfriend, and he's like, not so fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great scene. Fuck man, Miss Randy. But my number one moment in this movie is take some fucking responsibility from Sydney. That
Yes.
dude, Sydney, like she is always going to be the best scream queen ever, but like this movie is just an exclamation point to her being the best ever. I love that they have this brawl in this room, and Roman goes on this big like whiny speech about she's been privileged and she got everything that he deserved, and she's just like fucking like can you get on your with your whining? I've heard this shit before. And then she just bucks up to him, she goes toe to toe with him, and she puts him in his place. And that moment where she's like, take some fucking responsibility, fuck you, and they go at it,
Yes.
dude. It's
Yes.
awesome. I love that moment. I love the cat and mouse game that they both wear like bulletproof vests. I love that they both go toe to toe with each other, kick each other's ass.
Mhm.
I love the phone call where Sydney hides. I just love all of it. I love the dialogue. I think it's just a badass brawl, and Sydney's such a badass, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
She's the
No,
best.
I agree. Hell of a list, man. Y'all got really really good lists. Obviously, both the same. I am obviously gonna be the one that's gonna have to. I can't go 3 for 3.
Yep.
I did enjoy the house scene though, but that one did not make my list. Number 3 on my list is going to be Randy's scene. For everything that y'all said, I mean, there's not much more we can say about that. It was just so good to see him pop back up on screen. You just didn't know what was going to happen, and when you see that VHS tape flip on, it's just like, oh man, seeing him on screen was awesome, and he still brings his comic relief to that scene.
He does.
And then, like you said, Kevin, with a lot more sadness to it towards the end. So. And then number 2 for me is going to be the scene that's playing right behind you. I absolutely love this scene.
It's good.
Just the tension in it's really good, and like I get goosebumps when she's sitting on the bed and she's hearing the voices.
Yeah.
From,
Yeah.
like you said, man. Like it just, man, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and like goosebumps all at the same time. And then just the chase in general was done really really well throughout this set. So, and then number 1 for me is the fucking battle at the end, but
Yeah.
it's just done so well. It's so good for everything that you two said. So I think that those are really good solid lists though. And I figured that we would kind of have the same, at least number 1, because that's hard to beat. Like that
Yeah.
that final battle is just fucking amazing.
Yeah. Lose something,
yes.
found something.
Found
Yeah,
something.
It's cool.
Man, you made me want to watch that shit tonight, man. All right, let's talk about a couple kills that we liked. Kevin, I'll start off with you this time. What are some kills that kind of stick out to you? Because this was kind of tough for me, just because I didn't think they were really over the top.
How you want to do this? You want to go like 3-3-3, and we just go like my top 3?
We just go top 3.
Top 3. All right. Number 3, it's Cotton. I just love the opening of this movie. I love that he's wearing like all white. I love the 100% Cotton tagline. I think that's really funny, and love the Creed soundtrack. It takes me right back to when I saw this with my dad in the theater. I love the like when it cuts to the title card, like the slash of the 3. I love that. So Cotton's number 3. And I also love, again, I think the actress that plays Christine is like so damn good and believable in it. Number 2, my second kill is Tom. It's the explosion. It's the explosion. It's just so funny. Oh man. And then number 1 is Roman.
Yeah.
I love that Sydney like kicks his ass. The only thing I have a hard time with is he gets shot in the chest. He's got a bulletproof vest on, but she stabs through it with an ice pick. That's the only thing I'm like, but that wouldn't go through if a bullet can't go through. That's the only thing I'm like, I don't know if I love that, but I love,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I love their brawl. I love how she goes toe to toe. She kicks his ass. And then Dewey and Gail are running around the mansion trying to get in. They do get in. And Dewey's just like lighting him up. And Roman's like trying to run through it. And then head, Dewey. Head. And then Dewey just lays him out and finishes the job. And Dewey kills him. I love it.
It's like what I love about that is when he finally hears her say head, he like steps back and then steps into it.
He steps forward and dude, it's badass. Yeah. Again, he would not have died the way he died in Scream 5. Yeah. Just saying.
Jess, what about you? Oh, that's tough. I'm thinking about that now.
Okay, so 3 would be Tom. Just that the Tom's house explosion part. Yeah. Whoever smells the gas, it's just, I don't know. It's funny to me, but it's also very dramatic of like what everything happens.
Yeah.
2, it would have to be Jennifer with the mirrors. Although it's not that like crazy of a kill, it's just the suspense you feel when she can't hear him, or Dewey can't hear her through the mirrors, and so they're like, "Why are the mirrors moving?" They're like, and he's just shooting all of them, and I'm like,
and you're like, "Dewey, shoot faster, bro!
Yes!
Shoot faster!"
But it's like she also like gives like some comedic relief while she's gonna die. She's like, "No, wait, no."
You can't kill. I'm the killer.
Yeah. And number 1 is gonna have to be the Roman head kill. Just
so good.
Yeah.
So
I always quote that part. It's like, head, Dewey, head.
Should have been head. Boom. Yeah.
Number 3 for me is gonna be the explosion. I mean, come on now. The fact that you can actually his body just like, oh man, that's so good. That's such a good one. They did really good with that one. I enjoyed that. I think that's the one that's different, that sticks out, because we don't see that in any other one. So they did really good with that one. Number 2 for me is going to be Cotton, just because of everything that you kind of talked about, Kevin, and then just the shots in that kill with the blood splattered on the mask. It really sticks out. I love the dialogue between, well, it's really no dialogue, but what Ghostface is saying to Cotton, you should have told me where Sydney was. Now you lose. Like, it's just, man, such a good scene, such a good kill. And then number 1 is Dewey, obviously putting a bullet into my man's head. So,
nice.
Again, I don't think there were any kills that like I absolutely like were different, except for the explosion one. So I'm glad that all made our list because it's deservingly so. That shit is so funny. Stop laughing, Jess. Like, that's fucked up. My man. Yeah. All because he couldn't see and he couldn't. Oh man.
Yeah.
He looks up at the camera when he realizes he's like, whoa.
Oh man, that is hilarious. What do we have next? I think we're gonna jump into our rankings now. We're just gonna let Jess go. Because we've unless actually, Kevin, I'll let you go. Like, run through them. I'll run through mine, and then we'll let Jess go. And Jess, when you like roll through yours, you can kind of talk about what you love about like Scream 4 or the first or the second, and what you hate about the fifth.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so number 5 is Scream 5. Just hate everything about that movie. Like, I've even tried. Like, I'm like, can I just rewatch it and get ready for Scream 6? And I can't. I cannot do it.
Oh wow,
I can't. So 5 is Scream 5, and then Scream 4, then Scream 2, Scream 3, and then the OG.
Nice. Number 5 for me is going to be 5. Actually, number 12 for me is going to be 5.
Yeah.
And then we have Scary Movie 4.
Yeah.
um,
I'm with you.
Number 4 is 4. Number 3 is 3. 2 is 2. 1 is 1. It's very simple for me. It goes in order. I used to flip flop between 3 and 2 a lot, but I've grown to really love 2. So 2 takes number 2 for me. So it's really in order for me. It's the easiest list I think I've ever had to make. So, all right, Jess, what about you? I'm super excited to hear your list.
All right, so number 5 is going to be Scream 5. Just, I had to tell myself when I first watched this, I had to tell myself that I liked it just because I was too afraid to hate it. But like later on, just I rewatched it and I was just like, I don't like this at all. Like there was, even when I stepped out of the theater, I was just unsure of how to feel. But one thing that I really hate from Scream 5 is when Sam, is that the older sister? I can't even remember. Yeah. She's on the phone with Ghostface in the hospital and she's like, well, come get me, motherfucker. And then he comes out and she's like, no, she starts screaming for help.
That's a tough watch. I would say one of the things that I kind of do only like about that movie is, well, one, I dislike how much we get of Sidney Prescott. We just don't get enough of her, in my opinion. But one thing I do like is when she first has her phone call with Ghostface, and like I feel like they did progress her pretty well as far as like to this point, she's at the point of not giving a shit. Like she hangs up. She was like, "You're boring." Yeah, you're boring, and hangs up. Like I do like that part because it's like,
wait,
and he's okay. That was kind of corny, but her part, like that was a little progress. Like she's at the point where we're done with the phone calls. Like that's like the only small nugget, which. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is.
All right. For 4, it's going to be Scream 2.
Ooh.
I mean, I like it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But
well, I don't know. I need you to. What's up? Let's have this conversation. What don't you like?
I mean, I like it. It's just that I like Scream 4, so that's where it gets replaced.
Okay.
So, and it's nothing that I don't like about it. I like it. It's just.
I got you. No, trust me. I get you.
And so number 3 is going to be Scream 3. I like this one a lot. Yeah, I like it. It's a fun movie. It is. Not saying. I think let me get this clear. The only movie that I hate in my ranking is Scream 5. All of the other ones are just. Yeah. So Scream 4, number 2 is Scream 4. This one is just very nostalgic for me since it came out when I was like probably 10, I think. I think I did watch this one in theaters. It gave off that like how every other 2000 movie vibe it had, just with like the cast. It was like those actors and actresses, they were all like in their prime during that time, so it was just like a really good cast to me, except for Trevor. I don't like Trevor.
Yeah.
He gives off the same. I think Trent from Friday the 13th remake is worse than Trevor, but they're kind of like the same.
Oh man,
completely disagree with that. I actually, even though Trent is a slime ball in Friday the 13th, I think he's so funny with "your tits are stupendous" and it's perfect nipple placement, baby. And then he screams like a girl. I think he's at least likable and funny.
No,
compared to Trevor, where Trevor's just like,
oh man,
I'll show you.
So I think that's like the only thing that it's like cheesy.
That's just hilarious, Kevin.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
Disagree hard.
Oh man.
All right, well, that's you guys. And then for number 1, it's Scream. Obviously, got to give number 1 to the
Hell
OG.
yeah.
Why do you like Scream though, Jess?
It's very hard.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, that's a tough question.
The perfect answer, because it's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing
I think it was the first horror comedy, like semi-horror. I mean, not semi-horror, but horror semi-comedy movie that I ever watched. So, and that's I enjoy comedy, so that was a little surprise to me. That was something new when I watched it.
Yeah, I think there's that's a good way to put it. I think it's definitely one of those movies that has a lot of layers and elements to it. I think Kevin, we talked about this for Scream, especially when we get to the end, we see how deep that movie actually is, and then you have the comedy portion on top of it, and then obviously the horror portion on top of it. So it's just such a perfect movie. I love Scream 1 so bad. I love it.
Man, I couldn't imagine a world without. I couldn't imagine my life without this franchise. Could you imagine not
No.
having some Scream and Sydney and Ghostface and do like nah?
Like, what would we be living for at that point, you know?
We wouldn't. We wouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wouldn't be here. Man, I'll tell you what. I think that's it. I had the list up, but it failed me. Like it backed out. All right, Jess, before we kind of wrap up here, I kind of want to get your opinion. Well, not opinion, but like, what are you looking forward to most out of the new Scream, and what do you want out of the new Scream? Like, what do you want to happen for you to walk away from it happy?
I've been hearing a couple rumors about a certain duo that might be happening, and
Uh-oh.
I think it's something new. I'm not opposed to it, and the duo.
Careful.
Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to say
I have not
anything.
heard this.
Well, it's just a duo that is unexpected, but you can kind of sense it in the trailer, and I got a glimpse of that too.
Man.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's just something new. Hopefully it's better than the fifth one. But if that happens, then I don't know. We'll see.
Welp.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Kevin, anything else that you want to say? This is the last episode I have you for before 6. So anything else that you want to say as well?
About 3 or 6 or just a
Both.
anything?
Both. Yeah. Anything you want to say? And then, and then back to you, Jess, if you have anything to say too.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and reiterate how much I think this movie is underrated. I get why. I get why people probably think it's lame or too goofy. Because I mean, it does have a goofy factor to it, but I also think it does have a lot of layers, just like the first 2 do. And I think the characters are great. I just think it's very rewatchable, and there's a charm to it. And yeah, man, I just think it's way better than people give it credit for. And as far as like Scream 6, man, yeah, it's gonna be here before we know it. I am excited. I hope I am walking out of the theater like, wow, that they really changed my mind. They really impressed me because like the trailer, and I said this before, like Scream 5 trailer looked good. It looked different. You would hear Ghostface say, I'm something different in both of these trailers. I'm like, who is this going to be? Just like Scream 5, but with an adrenaline shot in it. I just hope it's gory. Hope the kills are brutal and gory. I hope Melissa Barrera is not as dry as a piece of wood in this one with her acting. I think she'll be better. I think they definitely heard the criticism with Scream 5, but yeah, I just hope there's some brutal scenes. Hope the action is good. I hope the kills are good, and I hope whatever the damn motive is, it's not some schlocky, embarrassing meta stab thing. Please stay away from the stab elements. Please stay away from the meta stuff. I think it is a part of the Scream DNA, but I think we've been focusing way too much on it, and so please get away from that and make it feel more realistic. So that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see.
Really good points. Anything else that you want to say, Jess, whether it's on Scream 3, Scream 6?
I mean, Scream 3 is just overall a fun film. I only gave like 2 dislikes, so I really like this one.
Yeah.
But with Scream 6, I think I just would say the same thing as Kevin said. Completely agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything. Like again, I think the two things for me that that I want to happen is um, a lot more gore, and that comes along with a darker ghost face,
Mhm.
and then also a ending that we don't expect. And for me personally, that would be we don't find out who Ghostface is.
Yeah.
It'd be the first movie that he gets away, or she gets away, or they get away. Like I would like that, or one of them gets away. I mean, we've always ended every single movie with finding out who the killer is. I mean, it's just the way it's gone, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think you're at a point where outside of Gale, you don't have any of the legacy characters anymore. You want to build towards off of the legacy characters. Why not do something different?
Mm-hmm.
It's either going to hit or it's not. I mean, I don't know. I just say do it, and go that route. I would personally like to see that, but I know there's always a lot of pushback on that. Nobody wants to get away from the original frame of the original or anything like that. They kind of want to and I respect that. Like I understand. It's just I just need something different, especially from what we got last time.
Do you think Gale dies in this one?
I'm gonna say no. And the only reason I say no is because it's just so fucking obvious in the trailer to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, who knows, man?
I don't know how she gets away, if she does. But it does seem like, man, it looks like she's a goner in the trailer.
does.
But she's looked like a goner before, like in Scream 4, where she's like, go ahead if you have the guts, and then he goes to stab her. So she's gotten away before, and it's hard to imagine a Scream 7 without at least Sydney and another legacy, Gale now. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I do. Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna say she's gonna die. I'm gonna go the other way.
Yeah.
I think she'll die. Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe what looks like to be her new boyfriend, which is an elephant in the room, that
It better not be.
it better not be either. Like,
Because if that is the case, she can die. She can go
yeah.
ahead and die.
Oh, 100%. Like, yeah, she can.
Damn.
Yeah, I will say one of the things that I do like about the new Scream movie, and hopefully we get in this one, is Ghostface isn't as clumsy as he is in the past movies. Like, for me, for Ghostface to be darker and scarier, you kind of got to eliminate that. At least to a degree, because in at least in Scream 2, which is a movie I love, my man is literally tripping over lint.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And we got that in 5. I've only seen it like 2.5 times because I got through it the third watch and turned it off. I don't remember Ghostface like doing a lot of tripping in the last movie, so I don't know. Just I don't know. I like in the trailer. One of my favorite scenes is when he's attacking Gale and he's jumping on the couch and jumps off the couch. Like he just looks meaner and like not like if that was like Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3 Ghostface. Oh, he's tripping over that couch. Like he's
there's
done.
way too many. There's too many obstacles in the way.
Yeah, way too many.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that too. But again, I think that plays into the fact of being darker and being gorier. So I would say those are probably my two most things that I want to happen. Something different and more gore, for sure.
I agree. I think Ghostface needs to be respected more, and I think with the last couple movies, it's just been a little lackluster. Like it just hasn't packed as much of a punch. So I would like to see Ghostface more brutal, but I think the key thing for me, the key word is realistic. I think that's what made the first one so good. Is Ghostface really did feel like this psycho on the loose, this very cerebral, brutal psycho. And so I don't want them to go the Halloween Kills route where they just make the killer like an unstoppable Hulk kind of a thing. So I think there is a fine line, but then again, who knows? Maybe I would love to see Ghostface just like, not just be a killing machine. I don't know. I just hope it's good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we all do. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up episode 38, our review to Scream 3. Yes. Go ahead, do that again. Looks like you almost threw your arm out of socket there.
I was like, yeah.
Man. Jess, appreciate you coming on. Did you have fun at least?
I did. Thank you.
You didn't throw up. She said she was going to throw up.
I did not.
I mean, we got time. I
Yeah.
mean,
She's holding it. She
I'm
got a vomit bag.
I'm trying to pump the views up a little bit.
Gosh. No, I'm not going to do that.
Uh-oh.
No,
Kevin.
okay, but you had fun though. You enjoyed yourself.
Yes, I did. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course,
here.
of course. Yeah, clap. Let's do a clap because that was a hell of an episode. It's crazy because like I get every time I do a podcast, like I look up at the time, and like it's 12 minutes into it, and I'm like, we're getting ready to get into Scream 3 already. Like, how are we gonna? Well, it's just never no time limit, but like, there's no way we're gonna make it to an hour if we're starting 12 minutes in. It's an hour and 20, almost 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
So that's what I love, though. I love being able to come on here and talk with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you had enough fun, Jess, please hit up a Cinemark for me. Anyways, Jess, where can everybody follow you on Instagram?
They can follow me at House of Horrors, or let's go at _ House of Horrors _ There you go.
Nice. Kev, what about you, man?
You can find. I was like, what? Where can they find me? What is my name? You can find me on Instagram at Watchhorrorfilms, as well as our little podcast that me and my buddy do, Burke, at Night of the Comments. And
you treated us, man. 2 episodes, and
I told you,
man,
we did, dude.
I was hyped.
Man. Who are we? I would love to do an Outwaters episode, but I'm waiting for. I don't know if Burke wants to watch that, and so waiting to see. But I would love to kind of take a deep dive into that because again, it's fucking out there, man. Cosmic horror, it's crazy. But yeah, Night of the Comments, and then on YouTube, Kevin Ketchie. That's it.
Where is the Stranger Things?
Oh my god, dude!
Where's it at, man? I've been waiting on it. I've been
so,
waiting on it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been waiting. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. It's just, man.
I knew it was coming.
I mean, it's your fault because you keep putting out. You keep putting out these top-notch videos.
Well,
we want more, man.
So I started like editing it on my old laptop, and then I got a new one. But for some reason, whenever I bring the project file into my Premiere, my editing program on my new laptop, I really have to. It's so tedious having to bring all the files back in and make sure everything is cohesive and attached and linked up in the timeline. And so everything's out of order. And I tried to do it one day. I'm like, bruh,
no,
this is too much.
It's a lot.
I'm going to have to get to it eventually, but it's a beast.
Is that probably going to be your next video? Or do you have any other YouTube videos lined up that you're looking forward to doing?
I haven't touched anything in a while. I mean, obviously I got the H2O locations I got to do. Like, I want to show people what the Paramore estate looks like from H2O. So that one's right there. Stranger Things is right there. Rob Zombie's first Halloween is right there. So I got all this footage I got to put together. But it's you get kind of burnt out.
It's a lot.
It is a lot of work. So I got those big 3 projects staring at me. Thanks, Mike.
Dude, again, your fault, man. Start putting out shitty content.
I know.
I won't ask for it. No, but seriously, make sure y'all follow both of these people because they put out awesome stuff. And Jess, have you uploaded a room tour yet to any of your socials?
No.
Like, that room looks top notch. Like, that shit looks like fire.
I've like tried to I'm still organizing it. Like I completely changed my room like back in December, I think. No, it was November, and it's still a mess. Like I didn't realize how much shit I have, but it's crazy. But once it's done, I'll do it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up episode 38 of the Take One podcast, and we'll see you next week for Jess's favorite movie, Scream 4.